Open up your MTT, and we're going to go ahead and do the quiz 2-1 review. The first thing that you're going to need to do is to copy down the two triangles that we're going to be working with. The first triangle is ABC. Put the A right here, ABC. And the second triangle is FGH. You're going to want to go ahead and label the sides on an ABC triangle, 9, 9, and 6, and on the FGH triangle, 3, 3, and X. We also know that angle A is 70 degrees. All right, now using that triangle, let's go ahead and find some information. If we know that the triangle has a 70 degree angle for the measure of angle A, then we can go ahead and find the other missing angles. Angle C is congruent to angle A. We have drawn the congruency signs in there. So if angle A and C are congruent, that means that angle C is also going to be 70 degrees. Now, if we take 180 and minus 140, then we're going to find out that angle B is 40 degrees. Again, we did 180 minus 140 because 70 and 70 is 140. Now if we take a look, we also notice that angle A and angle F are congruent, which means angle F must be 70 degrees. And angle F and angle H are also congruent, which means angle H must be 70 degrees. So that means we're going to take 180 minus 140 to find G, which is going to give us 40 degrees. Now we're going to need to find X. X is going to be the missing side to the smaller triangle. So we're going to go ahead and set up the proportion. So we're going to do fraction line, equals sign, fraction line. We're going to take the side on the smallest triangle, which is 3, and we're going to take the side, not the smallest side, we're going to take corresponding sides, corresponding sides. So we're going to go to the small triangle, find the 3. The corresponding side to 3 is going to be 9. We're going to go back. You know what? Let's erase that. And let's start with X because that's the one that we always start with. So we're going to take X and we're going to find the corresponding side to X because X is in the small triangle, it's going to be on the top. We're going to find the corresponding side in the large triangle and that's going to be 6. Now we're going to go back and find the side on the small triangle, which is going to be 3, and the corresponding side, which is going to be 9. Now we're going to butterfly. So we're going to have 9x is equal to 18. Divide by 9, and x is going to be 2. Now we need to find our scale factors. So we're going to take the side from the small triangle, which is 3, put it over the side of the larger triangle that corresponding side, which is going to be 9. And we're going to simplify that so that scale factor is 1/3. Now we're going to take 2, and the corresponding side to that is 6, and so the scale factor is going to be 1/3. Now we need to find the perimeter of the small triangle. So we have those sides, 3, 3, and 2. Perimeter is equal to side plus side plus side. So perimeter is equal to 3 plus 3 plus 2. Let's make these measurements centimeters, so then we're going to have centimeters. Now you're going to draw your two rectangles that we're going to use for the next equations. Go ahead and label them CARS, C-A-R-S, and then T-H-E-N. All right, we're going to look at the first rectangle and the angles. You'll notice our right angles, so that's going to make the measure of angle C is going to be 90 degrees. The measure of angle A is going to be 90 degrees. The measure of angle R is going to be 90 degrees. The measure of angle S is going to be 90 degrees. The measure of angle T is going to be 90 degrees. The measure of H is going to be 90 degrees. The measure of E is going to be 90 degrees. The measure of N is going to be 90 degrees. Now we need to find X. So we're going to go ahead and set up our proportion, fraction line, and equal sign, and then fraction line again. We're going to go to our small rectangle, and we're going to look to see if we can find a corresponding side for the x that we're looking for. So that corresponding side is going to be 2.4 for the small rectangle, and then x is going to be on the large rectangle. And then we're going to go back to the small rectangle, and we're going to have 1.2, and then the corresponding side is 1.6. So now we're going to go ahead and butterfly. We're going to have 1.2x is equal to 3.84. Definitely use your calculator. Finish out the other butterfly. Divide by 1.2, divide by 1.2, and x is going to be 3.2. So now we know the length of the larger rectangle is 3.2. Now we need to find our scale factors. So we're going to go ahead and take the smaller rectangle, 1.2, and find our corresponding side, 1.6. Put that into the calculator, transfer it and convert it into a fraction, and that's going to be 3/4. The next one that we're going to do is going to be 2.4 over 3.2. Put that into the calculator, convert it to a fraction, and then you have 3/4. Remember that you can use menu, number, and then approximate to fraction if you want to change a decimal to a fraction. So our scale factor is 3/4. To find the area of the large rectangle, we're going to do A is equal to LW. A is equal to, our length is 3.2, our width is 1.6. So our area is going to be 5.12 centimeters squared. And now you've reviewed for your quiz.